Fam, thank you for choosing to watch this episode of Mind the Mic podcast. Before we get into it, though, I need you to hit subscribe. And not just me, the whole Mind the Mic podcast family needs you to. Maddie, Uncle Pete, Stu, Leka, and of course myself, Shubz, and anybody else that's on board by the time you watch this video, we need you to hit subscribe. If it's your first time here, I understand if you're a bit reserved and you're like, I don't know, watch the video and after subscribe if you want to. But if you're here and you're watching all the time, subscribe. It's not that hard. All you got to do is, if you're watching on your TV, you're like, I can't subscribe, I don't have an account. You have a phone, don't you? I know you have a phone in your hand right now. Grab the phone, create a YouTube account. It takes a couple minutes, and then you can subscribe. And when you do that too, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we put up a new episode. I asked this of you because we put in so much time. We've done hundreds of episodes. We plan on doing thousands more with as many amazing people as we can. But we need you to subscribe, fam. Big love to everybody that's been watching. Big love to everybody that's been supporting and anybody that's just arrived. I hope you enjoy the journey, enjoy the episode, and subscribe. Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubz, here with a special guest, an entrepreneur, a mama, Malaahi Davis. What's good, sis? How are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
All good, all good. I had a bit of a migraine earlier, but after the last podcast, the bro, like, I don't know, he lit a fire and it's gone. I said, yeah, I'm good.
It's good when you get around people that can ignite that in you. I love that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I guess for the people that don't know who the great Malaahi is, can you give us a little background on yourself? Go as deep as you want to. You can go back to the birth, wherever. Yeah, take us on the journey.
Okay, well, my name is Malaahi, like you said. I'm 23 years old. I just had my birthday in June, so just turned 23. Like you said, I'm a mama. My son is 2 years old. I'm originally from Kaikohe, Northland, Motukaraka to be specific.
Where's that from, Kaikohe? How far is that?
Pardon?
How far is that from Kaikohe? Motukaraka, where's that?
Probably you go over the barge, probably about an hour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Probably about an hour.
Oh, is it like an island? The one?
Yeah, it's an island. So I was raised in Hawke's Bay though. So I did a lot of my years from probably year 7 till year 13 in Hawke's Bay, Napier.
Oh, so you're from there too, or how did
yeah?
You end up from?
My mum just moved around a lot. I think my mum moved around a lot, so I think I have a lot of places that I call home. For sure. Yeah.
What's the background?
I do a lot of, pardon?
What's the background of Malaahi?
Background on me, I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to this. I come from a life from a background that I would say was very dysfunctional. I think I never really had one place where I could call home, really. I think that if I go way back, obviously I'm from Kaikohe, I'm from Hawke's Bay, I'm from everywhere, but yeah, I think I was raised in an environment where I wouldn't want any other child to be raised in that environment. And that caused obviously a lot of things, as a lot of us that watch your podcast would feel and would know and would have experienced themselves. I think for me
too.
I will take you back till I was 17, right? I would probably like to keep this podcast for where I am right now, but I dropped out of high school when I was 17 years old. I moved out of New Zealand when I was 17 years old. Basically, my mum gave me $1,000 and she said, run. Basically, if we put it in those terms, she said, get out. In the most beautiful way, though, setting me free wise, right? She gave me the money. She told me, go spread your wings. There's no life for what she had created where I was from. So I took that money. I came over to Australia, and it's just been the pursuit of everything that I wanted ever since. If I want to put it that way, I came here when I was 17. I've been through it all. I've lived in hostels. I've lived in my car. I've lived on other people's couches. And I was 20 years old when I gave birth, and that was the thing that saved my life. My son definitely saved me. Yeah.
Yeah, when I asked background, I meant like ethnicity, I guess, or like
Oh,
what is the bloodline?
okay.
What's the
Yeah.
bloodline?
So my dad's Yugoslavian. My dad's mama was Yugoslavian. And then my papa was obviously Maori. Then my mum is Maori too.
Oh, tarara.
Yeah. So I'm
Tarara.
Yugoslavian Maori.
Yeah. I think they call that tarara up in Ngāpuhi, something like that. There's the like terminology for a Yugoslav Maori. I think it's tarara, something like
Love.
that. There you go. And your mother side?
Yeah. So her mama was white, Pakeha, and then dad was Maori.
Oh, okay, solid. There you go. Yeah, so that's what I mean with background, but like, yeah.
Oh, I took you way deep, didn't I?
Yeah, no, all good. Say fast. We can go wherever. I mean, at the end of the day, this is your journey. You know, wherever you want to go with that journey, and obviously, you know, you're where you are now. But there's a lot of nuances inside of your life that create,
100%.
you know, what we have now. So, yeah, and obviously moving it. You said you moved there. What were you 17 when you got the $1,000 to move? Who did you move to?
Yeah. I moved to Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, to by yourself, or like I mean, like to no one, like you didn't know anyone there, or
no. So my brother, he moved over here probably a few years before. So he lived in Newcastle. So I moved to him initially for about, I'm going to say probably about 4 or 5 months. And then he moved back. I was actually, so my brother's a jockey. My family comes from a background of horse riding. So I just worked as a stable hand. So I picked up horse shit.
Did you do that back home too? Had you done that as a kid growing up?
No. Oh, as a kid, yeah, but not probably past 10, 11, 12. It was young when I was around doing that life. But yeah.
Oh, true. So your brother's a jockey. There you go. Is he still jockeying now?
No, he trains now.
Oh, okay. Trains.
Yeah, he trains horses now.
It's a big game too, eh? Training those things. Those beasts. Yeah, solid. Yeah. So 4 or 5 months, and what do you think the biggest takeaway was from that experience of picking up horse shit for a living?
I think for me, don't be scared to get your hands dirty. Don't be embarrassed to do things that other people would normally be embarrassed to do. I think be where your feet are at and not care about what that's going to look like to anybody else. I think that would be, and I was 17 at the time. So like picking those shit up, like I did not want to do that. None of my friends were doing that. They were still either in school or they were working at jobs like retail, McDonald's, all the things. So I would it was definitely embarrassing at the time. Now, 23 years old, I'm like, yeah, I love that I was given that opportunity to do that kind of mahi.
Yeah.
In the shit mahi. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, perspective, and reflecting, I guess, back on it now.
Yeah, sure.
Where you are and how far you come. And it's probably helped guide you to where you are in a way, in a small part, or I don't know what size of the. Definitely.
I love that.
What is it that you actually do now? Because I do see you all over the place. What's that kaupapa? Can you talk about that a little bit?
100%. It's what I love. It's my passion. It's what I genuinely believe that I'm here on this earth to do.
Fuck
1,000%. I definitely
love that. That's what I think I'm doing right now. So
I feel that. And I can tell that you believe that because I feel it in the way that you move. I feel it in the way how consistent and disciplined you are in your pursuit. So I love that for you. But in terms of
a cool little speech, consistent and disciplined in your pursuit.
It is
Malaahi Davis, baby.
It is. Yeah. So for me, I'm partnered with a company called Monet, and if no one knows what Monet is, we're in the network marketing industry, right? It's been around for years and years and years and years and years. You can also call it direct sales. It's just we're the middleman. We don't hold no inventory. We don't handle any of the back office stuff, but I'm partnered with Monet, and we are the #1 hair care company in the world.
Ooh,
now.
Pretty flash.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So hair care, because I do see you doing a bit of showing. You look at my hair, how much I've got, how much growth, and all of this stuff. Is that what you're big on? Is that what they do when you say hair care? I don't understand.
So I guess to break it down a little bit more, we specialize in hair care. We're known for our hair care, but we're just a beauty company as a whole. We have skincare, which is like the skin products, right? And then we have wellness, which is like your proteins, your collagens, or for like the gut health and all things like that. But we are predominantly known for being like really scalp health focused. In simple terms, brother, it's just like we really focus on high quality, high performing, and like really dense and natural like ingredients for the scalp and hair.
There you go. Far. And did you see some growth yourself, like initially? Like what made you fall in love with, I guess, the products or the business as a whole, but the even the products that you
for me,
swear by them.
I seen this woman, her name was Shelly Peart. She was my mentor in the beginning. I just seen her, she was a mom as well. If you had seen my video, my hairline was bad. It was really bad. And I'm someone who I always played sports, so I always need my hair up, right? I was so embarrassed. It was like receding as far back as, I don't even know what I want to tell you. But I seen this woman and she was just posting these videos of her using these hair care products. She had the same issue that I did. I seen her attend events. I was a new mum. I do not have one family member left in Australia. So I was wanting the sense of whānau, belonging, all that, right?
Of course.
So I just reached out to her and I said, I don't know what it is that you do. I want to know more. Can you let me know? And we got on a call. She told me about it. I really fell in love with her vibe though, right? I never cared about hair care. I would go to Pack and Save and just get the cheapest products. I couldn't care less for it. I wash my face with a flannel and soap. I couldn't care less for it, right? But I just loved her vibe. So I think I joined initially, one, because I was broke as, two, I had the receding hairline for death, but I loved her vibe. You know, I really loved her vibe. So I joined initially based off our connection, if I'm being honest.
Oh, solid. There you go. But then obviously you joined on the connection and being broke, and obviously, but what can you give us an example, like how far, like did you actually grow back here? I don't know. What is this?
Yeah. So we have something called Rejuvenate oil, and I'm gonna actually send one out to you. Okay.
Yes, please. Because Uncle's gonna probably start losing hair too. So you better start getting some. Yeah.
So we have something called the Rejuvenate oil, right? And this is something that's our number one sold product. It's our highest performing product. It's just everywhere. It should be in everyone's bathrooms. But basically, it's a hair growth oil. It's something that it's got 13 essential oils and it's infused in it, right? And most oils on the market, this is probably going to make no sense to you, but most oils on the market do not have a molecular structure small enough to penetrate through all three layers of the hair strand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So ours is it's just formulated differently. It's formulated for the scalp rather than to just sit and coat on a hair strand.
Oh, okay. Penetration.
Yeah, so the formulation's just different. And I have not seen any other oil, even if you read up on ingredients, if you read up on like the scientific like background on products, I haven't seen any so detailed than the ones that Monet have.
Wow, that's on. Yeah. Like, can you, like, if you pushed your like hair back a little bit, can you show us like where it would have been and where you're at now?
Yeah, well, I can show you something, right? I'll show you. Don't judge my passport photo because I was
never. Yeah.
Like, look at my hairline there.
Oh snap! Let's go. I see what you mean now.
Like, actual. And then like my camera's on different, but it's just I got to come this way.
Yeah, that way. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
It's just completely different. But yeah, the hairline was the first thing, and then just the length and the health. Like, I don't have the split ends like I did. I don't have
What creates split ends? Because this is all new to me.
I understand. And what creates split ends can be so many things. People straighten their hair, people use shitty products that cause damage, people dye their hair, people bleach, a lot of things can dye it, all of that. Not brushing it while like having wet hair, then just tying it up is going to cause damage. Like, it's just damage at the end of the day.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
And did you have much, like, were you like a hairdresser at all? Did you ever do any of that kind of mahi at all, or nah?
No, and that's what I love. Like, most jobs, if we were to call this a job, you have to present a resume, right? And that's what I love. Like, what my industry can offer someone as ordinary as me. They say, come as you are, as long as you have $240, you can launch a business here. In terms of how credible you can get, that obviously comes from your own study, that comes from mastering your craft, that comes from developing skills that we would have not have developed before. So I think the credibility, or how successful you become, that comes down to education. And I don't mean like school education, I mean like personal education. Do you go on YouTube and study your craft? Do you go study the people that are best at what you do? So I think, the ones that are driven in their pursuit, they're the ones that really take this all the way.
Oh, yeah, far too much. That's solid. How do you speak so well? Like, at 23 years of age, like, how do you speak so? Have you always been someone who could speak very well? Like, were you doing speeches in school or anything like that?
No, but I think wahine Māori, we're natural leaders, and I think that it was definitely something that was showcased to me my whole life, definitely. And I think my dad, he's got natural, beautiful leadership skills. He just used it in a not so beautiful way. I think we all do, and you can decide if you want to control. And that's leadership too, in a way, right?
Well, 100%. There's power in unity too, and if you can unite people, there's power in unity. Look at what Hitler did, and like you can copy and paste this, like different names. Like, you can say, "Oh, that was evil," but then like people followed, though.
And leadership at its like most natural core is just influence. Can I influence your decision? By the way that I speak, can I influence you to do better with your life? By the way that you speak, can you influence someone to do better with their life? That's what leadership is, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's all it is. Exactly. For good or bad. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, definitely.
Yeah,
obviously,
so
hopefully for good, but
100%. So I think, to answer your question, I don't think I ever was taught it or anything. I just
life.
I don't know, some people just are God ordained, I think, to lead.
Yeah, I believe that. Like I said before, I believe I was put here to do this too. Like, and then I should have done this a long time ago. Like, I started this in January, sis, and this is like the 300-ish podcast since January.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't feel like mahi. It doesn't feel like work. Like, I don't Don't get me wrong. You get physically tired sometimes, but I don't feel drained. I don't feel like I could do another 3 more today, and by the end of it, I might be physically tired, but I'll be sweet. Like, I would have,
Wow. Can I ask you a question?
Anything. Go.
What was the reason it did take you so long to launch?
I think, many reasons. Just probably self-doubt, which is crazy because I'm a very confident human being, always have been. Self-doubt, probably every, the whole cliche of, listening to everybody else, I guess, being told like everybody is like, even because there was a period when I reckon, especially around COVID and that, where a lot of people started doing podcasts, but just like anything, even if all of those people were still, which majority of them that I knew anyway, aren't even doing it at all. Even if they were, they're still not me, and I'm not them. You know what I mean? Like, because realizing that actually, there was the catalyst for me actually doing that was I was about to kill myself a year ago, May last year. I got number one on I don't know if you know much about TikTok live streaming, like battles and all that, but I got number one in the Australian New Zealand rankings, which I had sort of had strived for a couple of years, but I kept getting banned before the end and stuff like this. Like, you finish like in the top sort of, so I like ranked every week for like ages, but I never. And then I just wanted to finish at number one. Like, the whole squad, we sort of put in a lot of time, effort, energy. Obviously, people support you, but there's also, because you're chasing, like, there's a lot of money involved. People can make a lot of money doing it, so people see you as they see you're sort of coming for their honey, I guess. So then they try to ban you, report you, all these different things. But so it took me a while to get there. I think that was a lot of it, but I didn't realize how much that actually stop me. But that doing the whole TikTok battle thing and that, because a lot of my battles would be like this. I'll just ask people about their life and have yarns and where you're from, and because you can push a random button and then connect with someone from anywhere in the world. That, you know what I mean. And then 5 minutes after that, if you do one battle, you can go to the next person and have another one. And so that, in a way too, I was sharpening my skills at the same time. So in a way, I was already preparing for this. And I think, like you, I think I've just always in my life, since I was a kid, I spoke on this yesterday, actually a couple of days ago on a show that me and my bro do on here, and it was about a first time I've ever said it out loud. But when I was 5, 6, 7, every year of my life till now, I've always envisioned sitting on stages all around the world and speaking to people. And obviously, that's a down the line progression of what I'm doing now. You know, just like every big podcaster in the world, they travel the world and sit on stages. But for me, it was never for just monetary gain. Obviously, that's a byproduct of doing what you do and to masses of people. It's more just because I felt like I don't know, that was what I was born to do. But I never ever spoke that out loud until 2 days ago, like to anybody, ever. I am, and now I'm finally here, like on the way there. Anyway, you know, just we're babies in the game, but we're on the way. And yeah, so what stopped me from doing a lot of things, or maybe it was just this is the timing. Now's the time. You know what I mean? I was living my life. Didn't end up doing it after I got number one, and pushed it. When I was in the pursuit of the number one, I forgot about, you know, I sort of lost myself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that. About to hang myself, my baby wakes up, he's crying, teething, and I'm like, oh, I'll go put him back to sleep and then I'll finish the job, you know, sort of thing. So I'll go grab him, but the tears are falling down when I'm holding him. I'm like, what's up? So I sort of made a decision then in May last year to daily deposit every day into creating. I don't know how I was going to do it or what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted to start a podcast, and I knew I wanted to try and make the biggest podcast in the world. Will I do that? I don't know, but I believe I will. I guess I don't know, not know. I believe I will, but at least I'll give it my all every day till the end. You know what I mean? To see if I can do it, and you know, so making that decision to. Like I wanted to launch in January this year. That was May, so like 7 months, whatever. And I said every day just put in something towards the goal, into learning it. And then I'm going to launch in January, first week of January, no matter if I do it by myself or with others. I'm going to do it. So I did, and yeah, like I said, January, we're like 6 months in, 300 podcasts, and yeah, only the beginning. But yeah, we're on the way. Anyway, we're here for Malaahi Davis.
I love that. No, that is amazing. I think that's very profound, and I'm really proud of you. I'm very excited for you.
Hey, me too.
I'm very excited for you.
You should too, and all your mahi, and you know, even just I think you have a real presence. And when you say, like, you know, some people are God ordained, or like, I think it's just, and you said something earlier too about just living in your purpose, which is something that resonates with me so much, because fucking that's how I feel every day now. You know what I mean? Like, literally, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like, yeah. And like I get to talk to cool people like yourself and learn about their stories. And I look at it this way too, sis. We grow up and we hear about Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, Homer, not the Simpson, but the Greek scholar. Those guys are put on a pedestal as some of the greatest minds of ancient times. Before those people, the Greeks could read and write. Our people were traversing the great oceans using the stars. Like, we have cool stories too. And I think we can push that to the world as well. And that's what I'm sort of want to be a part of anyway, trying to, but not meaning like we can't talk to people from all over the world, but shining a light on our stories from this little part of the world, you know, from the down under, and you know, from under, you know, Pacifica people make up a minute % of the whole world's population, but we got some mana, and you know, why not show the world? And I think, did you grow up with your grandparents or your nan koros? Nah.
No, I didn't actually. So in terms of my dad's side, he legally was not allowed to see us until I was 18 years old. So my mum did let us see him like every now and then, but it was not, I didn't know my dad growing up. That's for sure. He was with us until I was about 4 or 5 years old. And then legally he was not allowed to see us through the courts and stuff like that. Yeah. In terms of my mum's side, her papa died when she was young. Same as my dad's mum. So it was just, so my mum's mum, because she was with my dad, my mum's mum didn't want to be a part of that, right? So that meaning gangs, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have the experience with my mum's side, nor did I have it with my dad's side. So it was really just my mum and my siblings, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was, well, in saying that though, what would you I guess pay if you could have let's say an hour of content of your grandparents that you never got to meet, or your father, let's say you never met your dad or never got to see him again, what would you like to, like, what would you be able to, what would you pay for, content of them speaking on their journey, their thoughts, their inflictions, you know what I mean? I think that's like a priceless amounts, really, like that people, and that's what I see with everybody that comes on here, whether they're a famous person or they're an everyday person. Because for me, it's not about platform. For me, it's about like, I'll talk to anybody that has a cool story that wants to share it. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's because sometimes some of the best stories are ones that people don't even know. People don't even know them. So, you know what I mean? And if they're willing to share, I'll put them on, and then like their mokopuna, their great grandchildren, as long as these platforms exist that these corridors live on, they can come and listen to them if they want to. You know what I mean? And even mine, you know what I mean? They can hear me, and even the progression, I guess, like me being. Like, I'm not me last year when I wanted to kill myself. Fuck, I'm not me when I was fucking 20. I'm not me when I was 10. You know what I mean? I'm not me, the little boy that was raped and beaten, and I'm not that boy anymore either. All of that shit, like all of that, I'm not that anymore. Like, I don't get me wrong. There's obviously the seeds of of the original boy are still here, and there's a lot of stuff that I have to unlearn through the journey. But yeah, like, all of that shit ain't me. But and then I'm sure that my mojos or whoever listens to this, from like the first podcast to, like, let's say podcast 200,000, I don't know if we'll get that many episodes, but you know what I mean, 10,000, 20,000, whatever it is, they say like, like my koro like grew through, and I hope they do hear that and see that too. But even just if you only do one, like, let's say you and I only sit here one time, I feel like there'll be many more, not only here but even in the flesh corridors. Your mokos, your son can come and listen to his mother and what he says, and obviously all your content as well. But yeah,
I love that. Yeah, so for me, what would I pay? I've never been asked a question like that before. What would I pay to...
Be hard to put a dollar amount on it, really.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like you said, there's no... It is one of those things where you could never put a price on it, but I think I would just love to know parts of who I am, because there are so many parts, like, of, even as a Māori woman, like, there are so many, like, all my cousins, they're all fluent, they know exactly where they come from, like, all of that, right? I think parts of me would just wish to know, even just from my dad, like, he has passed down, like, he whakapūtanga stuff to me that I have yet to open and stuff like that. So yeah,
are you going to eventually?
I will. My dad, he's 60 years old. He's passed down things to me that he said that he believes should be in my hands, and I just haven't, connected to that side of me. And I definitely will. But
it's like I think Rawiri Waititi had something very profound that he said that I don't always agree with the bloke, but no one agrees with everyone, right? But when he said, you may not know your reo, but your reo knows you. You may not know your awa, but your awa knows you. You may not know your maunga, but your maunga knows you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he Māori koe, and the only requirement you have to be a Māori is have blood. May have that tuto. So that's in you, so when you're ready to not even learn it, but open it up, unlock it again, I'm sure. It'll be a beautiful journey. Yeah, and I look forward to you doing that. Nah, auntie. So, you're with your boy, and that is you the dad still around, or we don't have to. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, no, 100%. We can go there for sure. Yeah, 100%. So, me and my partner are still together to this day. He is a very he doesn't have social media, so I use my social media for business purposes, and I use it as a tool. So he's just, he'll be shared when I want to share him, and it's just not very often.
No, okay, that's all good. What about the flavor? Can we know the flavor of the brother? Or?
Of course. So he is Sudanese, so he's Nubian. Yeah. And
is the bro tall as or what?
Pardon?
Is the bro tall as? Because aren't they the tallest people in the world?
Yeah. Very tall, very dark and sexy, and
get
Yeah,
too much.
and my son is a mix of us both. He definitely looks more like his dad, but just has more of obviously my skin complexion. And I definitely didn't think he would come out that way. I thought he would be dark as dark, but no, he definitely got more of my genes, I would say.
Yeah. How did you and the bro meet?
We met at a party.
Oh, okay, not the Tinder, bro. So many people like Tinder when I asked
No,
them.
I could never do that because I'm like, I can't even really develop deep friendships over online, right? I love the in-person stuff. Like I want to feel you. I want to like, I'm an in-person person.
Yeah, no, solid. Oh, shout out to the brother. Do you have plans to visit Sudan?
Yes, so his family went back last year for Christmas, and we were definitely supposed to go. It's going to probably cost us about $25,000 to go over there for a trip. So it's definitely in the works. Maybe next year, not too sure.
Yeah, no, it's going to be on. I don't know if you've read the book. Oh, what is it called? Is it Sapiens? I can't remember what it is, but and they talk about how is it Outliers? Oh, I can't remember which one it is, but it's talking about how just like how the Sudanese, like how they're the tallest people in the world, but they're next door to them, the pygmy people who are the smallest in the world. Like they're
no, I've never read. He's Nubian, so they're East African. So the South Sudanese, they're like the tall, skinny.
Oh, they're the tall ones. Oh, Nubian. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I missed it. My bad.
No, that's okay. So he's from the East. So they're still very tall. They're a bit, I would say, lighter complexion, maybe.
Yeah, compared to the South brothers.
Yeah, not as tall, and they're more stocky. They're like bigger naturally.
You're like a bit of a stocky, eh? That's too much. Yeah, that's it. Solid. With your bizu and all that stuff, you run like you got like squads underneath you as well? Is it,
I definitely have a large organization. I have people. Yeah, that's what I call it. I think when you come into the space, you don't necessarily think that I'm a high school dropout. I have a year 9 education level, and I never thought that I would have multitudes of women running with me, right? Or beside me, or whatever you want to call it. So I have a large organization. I have over 1,000 people within my organization, and I have one of the largest Polynesian-led teams. I definitely love that we, like my leaders, and one day I hope that they get to come on here too. We are obsessed with the development of our women because I have the youngest team as well.
Send them to me. I'll talk to anyone.
I will. And so I have the youngest organization within Monet, right? Yep. And with that comes with huge responsibility. That comes with, like, we know how to work. This is what I'll say. Māori people, Polynesian people, we know how to work. We've not known how to work, right? What I've found in business, obviously it's not really a conversation in our homes. Money, investments, tech, all of that was never a conversation in my home because we were only thinking of how we're getting past the next week, right? So what I've found is that a lot of the women that come in to business, they don't go the test of time. You would know this yourself. There has to be a vision that only you can see that you're in pursuit, like you're pursuing, right? And you have to be so locked in on that. It doesn't matter who sees the vision with you. It doesn't matter if this person believes or that person believes. As long as you can see it, you can bring it to life. And a lot of people they don't have that natural ability to, like, if you can see it here, you can see it in real life. And I think what we as leaders in my industry have to do is we have to have the ability to allow others to borrow our belief. And that's very hard to get a 20-year-old girl who's broke who's a single mom that can't see past her current situation to look at you and be like, if I've done it, you can do it too. And this is exactly how we're going to do it. So a lot of people don't go the test of time. For me, I believe that I was given this big business fast. Like it happened, like my first $10,000 month happened in my first 4 months. and it's only just got bigger and bigger, right? So it happened fast for me, and I believe it was because God, whoever you believe in, showed me what was possible, and it now allows other people to see what's possible if they want to sit at my table. So I think the hardest thing is to get people to see the test of time, and that your journey is always going to be yours. And if you let the thief of, like, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
And
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah. And if you look left and you look right, then you're not focused on where you're going, what your lane is supposed to look like. And that's the hardest thing that I've found, to get our women to see a vision that they can't see in real life right now. That's been very challenging.
That's been the most difficult for you in this journey?
Yeah, I think it is, because they are so young. I don't know, like, I'm obviously young, so
you're young, but you don't seem as young as you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and what I love now is, like, you go into different, obviously as you evolve, as your skills develop, all of that, you attract different people. I remember in the beginning of my business, like, I was attracting people that I would no longer align with, right? And then there's other seasons. And then now I'm like, I have women in their 50s learning from me. I have women in their 40s and their 30s. And I think that everyone comes in at a different level. And if you have the ability to meet someone where they're at, instead of you being here and they have to meet you where you're at, I think you can be a beautiful leader if you can go down to somebody's level and meet them where they're at. And I think that goes back to even working all the jobs and coming from struggle. I think that definitely has taught me, like, no one is better than me, which makes it true back. No one's, like, I'm not better than anyone else. So I love that for me.
Well, you did pick up bullshit for a living once.
So I did.
You know what I mean? And that's it. But yeah, like, and I think, and listening to what you said, and even speaking to my last, legend that was on here, I think even just being that light, like, you know what I mean? Like, just like, a lot of time people want to pull people up, but then if you put your hand down to pull people up, a lot of times they might pull you down and leave you there.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you're just being that light, and you are those different levels that you've been at in life too, so you can relate to all of those, as well as just being the light, and people go, all right, let's follow, like, you know. And I get what you mean. It is hard to get people to buy into your vision, but if you can, obviously you're going to do it, and you're going to crack it regardless if you believe in it enough and you put in the mahi, just like all the greats say in whatever field. But if you can get people to buy into it with you too, or, you know, we're all in this together.
100%. There's two things. You can either sell them the dream, because they're already buying the nightmare. So just sell them a bloody dream, tell them where we're going, tell them that I want to take you with me, and they either buy it and they run with you, or they just settle for the nightmare that they already know they're living. So one or the other.
That's on, and that's what I've done with this, because on here, like, we do multiple shows. Like, I got a couple of brothers of mine that we do different shows with together, and I just told them, I said, bro, just come, like, every week, and let's just be consistent every week. Doesn't matter if we get viewers or not. Eventually, all of that will take care of itself. But let's just put the stuff out. Let's just say what we want to say, and let's build it consistently. Humans are habitual creatures. That's why all the old people still watch the news, because none of us young people do that, really. But you know what I mean? Because they still watch it they watch it at 6 o'clock every day, because it's been that way all of their life. You know what I mean? Like, it's that habitualness of it. And that's what I said to the brothers, and then even the sister. We do a show where we talk about quotes and break those down and what they mean, and like, bro, who cares about if we get viewers or not? You know, bro, I used to be a live streamer I went live on TikTok once, made 20 cents, you know what I mean? Like, and thought, that's pretty, 9 cents, sorry, the first ever time. Like, not that I did it for money, it was just like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then, you know, there was like 5 viewers, and they were all my mates. And then by the time we finished the game, like, you know, I still can jump on there, but by the time we got to the, you know, top of that mountain, I guess, you know, if you added it all up, you know, we probably made, like, you know, I don't know, in that 1 week, like, you know, 50 grand or whatever, you know, just 1 week. And you know, and then tens of thousands of viewers at the time in the live stream. So it ain't where you start, It ain't even where you finish. I think it's the journey that's the key. And just putting it in every day.
100%.
No, I'm with you. And good on you for inspiring and having what do you say? It was over 1,000, but also having the youngest team in the game.
Yeah. It's really crazy how, like, things happen for you in the lead up, the preparation, what you go through. It definitely is preparation for everything to come. But Yeah, we definitely are. We're the youngest. I think there's 2 teams. There's myself, and then there's a woman called Charvel Edwards. I think she did a podcast with one of your bros. I think you.
Oh yeah, Papa. Yeah.
So she's another sideline sister
Oh,
who has.
so in the same using the same mahi, like
same mahi. And her and I probably have the largest Polynesian league teams that the company has.
And both young Maori ladies, do we?
Yeah. I love that for us.
There's
actually a video. Me and her also, this is something that I'll add. Her and I also are the only Polynesian President Award winners.
Okay, what's that? Can you give us a
President Award winner? She was the first one. I was the second. It's called Rookie of the Year, right? It's people in their first year of business who just have outstanding performances. It's people who have, there's a lot that goes into probably why we were chosen. But so we both are President Award winners, Rookie of the Year, top recruiters. Our journeys have been very similar, and we didn't know each other from a bar of soap, but it's been really beautiful. I'm actually collabing with one of her leaders tonight on the call.
That's cool, and it's cool that you can still, cross over. 100%. Like there's a, but what I noticed too, the more you speak to, especially really successful business people, but at the top they collaborate. At the bottom, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to keep this for me, and I don't want to tell them, and whatever. I don't want to show people." But then, more you go up the ladder, they collab, man. They collab hard.
This is what I say to my girls, because we definitely, I remember in the start of my business, I was like a gatekeeper. I didn't want to tell everyone how I was getting really, all of that.
That's the mentality around us, right?
100%. But what I've learned is this is what I say to my girls that are still living in the hood, but trying to get out all of that. I say, stay away from still people, still broke, still hating, still talking shit, still talking, drinking every weekend. Stay away from still people. Get around people that are moving. Get around people that are obsessed with action, and you'll be fine.
Still people, eh? Where'd you get that one from? Did you make that one up?
Or? No, I actually heard it from this woman, Stormy Wellington. She's she's one of the best at what I do. She does $3 million months. Her biggest month in money was $3 million in the month.
That'll be you soon, sister. Don't worry about that. That'll be your Malaahi Davis soon, eh? Yeah, on the ways. Yeah, so what is it again? Still, give us the still analogy again.
Stay away from still people, sister. Still broke, still hating, still talking shit, still in the clubs every weekend. Get around people that are moving into action, ready to execute. It'll change your life.
Bro, still. Wait, that's like a triple, quadruple entendre. That's still. I like it. Yeah, that's still a good one. Yeah, still. Wait, I think hating is a big one too. Because if they're hating, obviously they're projecting, but it's always because they ain't doing shit themselves. They literally. Yeah. I noticed that.
No one doing better than you. No one doing better than you is gonna hate on you.
Nah, why would they?
Exactly. It's always the people that they look at you, they see a little bit of themselves in you, but they're not ready to jump. For sure.
Or you know what else too? I think they also might be judging you on something, whether on the old you that they knew. You know what I mean? Or a you that you were that you maybe ain't anymore. You know what I mean? That you've grown from. You know what I mean? Yeah, 100.
That's wild, actually. That's people like that stay far away. The people that stay far away.
Like when they or I guess you see it on social media, people digging up tweets from somebody 34 years ago, because they said gay or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, right, babies every. But it's cool to see, you cracking it from coming over as a 17-year-old with $1,000 from her mama, and picking up whole shit. And what other jobs did you do besides? Where did you go from there?
I was a debt collector. I was.
Oh, true.
Yeah. And I had debt myself. I used to search my name up, and I used to be like, "How the hell did I get this job?"
Not the debt collector with debt herself. That's it.
Yeah. No, this is the thing. And coming into my business, I'll say this as well. When you hit a certain rank in my business, and for me, I had to hold it for 6 consecutive months. Now, It's only 3, but at the time you had to hold a certain rank for 6 consecutive months, and then you qualified to go into our motor club program, which is the Range Rover, right? So even myself and Charvel both qualified for our range, which is really cool. What I didn't know and what I wasn't educated on, and this is like my biggest advice for people that do come from struggle and don't come from money, like really learn the gift of money and how to use it, how to like invest, how to let money work for you, because I didn't have any of those conversations growing up, and I had debt, right? I was 19 when I fell pregnant, and I got $1,000 loan for a bond, right? For a place. I then lost my job. I was a debt collector at the time. I lost my job because I kept having days off, sore feet, all that bullshit. So I didn't have any money to pay this $1,000 back. It was from Cash Converters, right? I got $1,000 Cash Converters.
The cashier's loan?
Worst thing that I ever did, because I didn't know that, like, I told them I wasn't going to be able to pay for it, but I didn't get put on a payment plan, right? And I just ignored their calls, all of that, right? And I think it was like 4 or 5 months into my Monate journey, I got my like first big check, and I went to pay off that debt. I knew that I hadn't touched it for 3 years, so I knew it would be more than 1,000. I went back to pay it with $7,000. So I became debt free about 4 or 5 months into my journey with Monate. I then qualified for my car at my, I think, 10th or 11th month anniversary. I went in to get my car. Okay, so how you get the car is you have to apply for the finance. Monate gives you the down payment, and then they pay the monthly payment. Right?
But it goes on your name.
But it has to go on our name in case we leave the business, in case we no longer, all of that stuff. So it's a security thing. So then I went in to get my car, and they told me I had a default listing. I said, "What's that?" They said, "It says." Oh,
you didn't understand?
No, and I had worked at that job too. So they told me that my debt was in a paid for, like it was paid status, but I still had a default, and it would be there for the next 5 years. So that's the importance of like knowing these things. Like if you don't, like I didn't know all that at 19 years old. And even at 21 when I went to get my car, I didn't know that debt would be on my file for 5 years. I did not know that. My partner also wanted to buy a house this year. I can't do it because of my credit, and it's something that I'm in the building process of. But now that I've got a business that pays me, like I couldn't be more blessed. Like it's really important to know how to use money and let money like work for you and all those things, but they're not conversations that are normally had in our homes.
Financial literacy is not taught, and it's not even fucking taught in schools. Like schools are there to keep you trapped inside of a system, like like the Rockefeller system that existed, that was created to make robots work in factories in the 1800s, is literally the same school system that exists today. Like that's why you're taught to sit down, shut up, line up, put your hand up if you want to speak. Fucking all you hear is like an assembly bell, like an assembly line fucking bell. All of that shit. It's the same system to keep you stuck in their rat race. So, financial literacy, understandable that you didn't know, because ain't nobody know, because it's not taught, because the system don't want you to know.
That's right. And that's why I think like self-education is so important. Get curious about this world, get curious about finances, get curious about business, get curious about like why people think the way that they do. And you'll never be broke you'll never be broke if you can learn sales, marketing, and how to communicate with people. I think if you can know those things and you can get good at it, you won't be broke for long.
Hard. I think an interesting one I've heard is just understanding the game, just money in general, understanding the game. Like most people don't realize that if you have $1,000 and you take that $1,000 and you just double it 10 times, you have $1 million. Like people want to be a millionaire, like it's so hard. Like just like anything, if you understand the game, know the game, and know the rules and how to play it, you can figure it out. People have, and if anybody's been able to do it from your position, like you say, I'm this, I'm that, nobody's like, I can't be successful because, let's say, because I'm Maori. Well, there's plenty of Maori millionaires out there, you know what I mean? Like because I'm African or whatever, that's bullshit, you know what I mean? Go get it. Or go if you are one of the aunties out there and you want to get into the, but there, hit up Malaahi Davis, eh? She might suss her out. She might be able to, chuck you on her team and go get it, eh? That's it. I love your insights, sis, I know, I don't want to sound like demeaning or anything, but especially for a young 23-year-old, like you seem very, very wise beyond 23, sis, for sure. You know what I mean? Obviously,
I think you'd find that there are a lot of people, like, you have to be one to get exposed to these people though, right? Like, I found that now that I have developed myself a little bit, all of that, I'm exposed to different tables which expose you to different conversations, and it becomes one of those dominoes effects. But if you're in that space of wanting to learn and build, and like, I was that annoying girl that asked every question, every question I had, I asked, and that's what got me sitting at tables with millionaires. And that's genuinely, like, I'm going to tell you now, you tell the world, or whatever you believe in, right, what you want, because I said in my first month of business that I would be a millionaire with Monet. Literally, like 5-6 months later, a millionaire herself said I would be her next millionaire. Her name's AJ General. She's a multi-millionaire with Monet. And she said in a group chat, she had not even had a conversation with me. She said I'd be her next millionaire. Another thing, I mirror people that are doing what you want to do. Never copy. You have your magic. You have the things that make you different. But there's blueprints that people leave behind. Things that work, things that you don't have to recreate the wheel. There are things that are fundamentally good and that work. I mirrored a woman called Jacqueline Ortega. I see so much of myself in her, and I just, like, how long have I been in this business? Like 18 months. She asked me to host a call with her. 18 months later, I hosted a call with the #1 income earner in my company, but she didn't know that this whole time I've studied the way she worked. I studied the way her works. I studied her, like, she does recordings every time she trains. I watch so many recordings. Like, people leave clues and people leave blueprints, and if you're one of the ones who get that, you can be very good at what you do.
Yeah, hard. And find what works for you, because you know what I mean. Like, yeah, there are blueprints out there. There are a lot of things, but there's also a lot of people. I think sometimes you have to be that person, but or you have to be willing to put in. And there's so many, and there's so many different directions. And there's no really, like, we live in a place like, bro, the internet, like, there's like people, back in the days, to get your shit noticed, your business noticed, you have to put it in a newspaper, you know what I mean? And not everyone could afford a newspaper. Now just about everyone, even though people say they're broke, they got $1,000 phones in their hands watching things like this and whatever, and scrolling.
No one's actually broke. They just spend money on things that don't make them more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they say they are, but like, you got a $1,000 phone in your hand, you got, you know what I mean, all these gears that I had recorded all with the bro just before Tahita, and he owns he's Primal Warrior with the bro Jeffrey Morgan and that, and their men's well-being. But they're all millionaires, and they all talk about, they're like, there's 200 years worth of experience between these 4 men, which came from crazy lives, and they've flipped it all and turned it into this business where they mentor people and stuff. But like, but it's not just financially, physically, mentally, all that, spiritually, all that stuff. And yeah, that's exactly what you said there. Is bang on pretty much what they're on about, man. It's like, no one's broke. Like, everyone's got something, like, hats, fucking headphones, microphones. Like, you and I could do this with just the phone and no microphone, no fucking flash camera, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you want to do something, fucking do it. Like, and yeah, just like Nike said, just do it.
You'll figure it out if you want to make it happen.
Hard, and everything's free. Like, you can go on the internet, go on YouTube right now, and whatever you want to learn about is there. You know what I mean? For free, if you don't have the money to pay for a course, or you don't even have the 240 to get in there yet. Go figure a way on there to make 240.
This is the thing. It's 240 you can launch now, but when I launched it was 375, right? My partner gave me half. I scrounged the rest. Let me tell you, I sold my Jordans. I had these broken down Jordans. I sold them on Marketplace for $40. I said, Mom, I need a loan. Please put it into my cooperative bank right now. I made it happen, and even though it took me, like, it was $375, my partner gave me half, but you got to hustle the rest. If you want to make things happen, you'll make it happen. Stop fooling yourself.
That's it. Stop fooling yourself. Sis. Anything else you want to touch on? Because I got a couple of questions before we leave. But anything else you want to sort of touch on or speak to before I do ask those questions?
No, I feel like I like your flow. I like your questions.
Yeah, I'm just random, just like everyone else. Oh, what's the prepared questions? I was like, don't really have any. Yeah, like for me, it's let's connect and then let's learn about you. And then, like, I guess it's easier because you're talking about people and who they are, and nobody knows themselves like themselves.
I would like to make one of these one of my reels.
Oh yeah. What do you mean?
How do I do that?
Oh, you want me to send it to you, or what do you?
I want to ask you.
Okay.
What your vision for your podcast is, so I can put that. You know how you like showcase the person on your podcast? I want to showcase you on my reels.
Okay. What's the question you want to
ask? My question to you would be, what is the vision for your podcast, and where do you see this a year from now? Who do you want to touch? Who do you want to help? What is the reason for Mind the Mic podcast?
Mind the Mic. Oh, the reason for it is for me to hear as many interesting people as possible, to share those stories with the world. I think that a lot of people hear stories every day of like people that they relate to, but that they don't realize that they probably have that story that they could share on here too. So that's a big thing for me, is for people to open up and realize that, hey, they're like there's mana, there's light inside of you that you can shine to, whether it's a famous person and opening up stories that they might not have shared with people, and they feel comfortable enough to do that on here with me, then that's one. But also just an everyday person that nobody knows besides their friends, and their friend goes, bro, my mate, he's got a cool story, no one knows him, but have him on, or my sister over here, that for me is the biggest. And obviously I want to be a good father. I want to be a better father than I had, and I didn't have a father, so I'm winning already. But I want to be as good a father as I can be. I want to be a good man. I want to be a better human, and I hope in the pursuit of me chasing to be the biggest podcast in the world, when people open their phones and they see JRE, Joe Rogan Experience, they see Mind the Mic podcast, and everybody that's ever come on here, everybody that, so that's a goal for me. It's just to make the biggest podcast in the world, whether it happens in a year's time, 10 years time, 20 years time, whatever. I'm going to just keep going until it happens, and I'm going to enjoy the journey there. I'm not going to sulk if it didn't happen either. I'm going to enjoy the journey no matter what happens. But I believe I will do that. I believe I'll achieve it, not only because of myself, but the people that I roll with, the people that have put in with me, the time, the energy, you know what I mean, that consistently do. Shout out my boy Leka, shout out my sis Maddie, shout out my Uncle Pete, shout out my bro Stu. That's us, Mind the Mic podcast. We could have named the name could have been anything, but at the end of the day, names are made, right? Names are built. Nike's are not really a flash name, but it's flash because you know what Nike is. But, you know what I mean? But it was made, it was built. You know what I mean? When you associate, names are built. So yeah, Mind the Mic podcast. Put your mind into the mic. Let your mind, let people hear your mind, your thoughts, your inflictions, your journey through the microphone. But again, it could just be chats with Shubz or chats with whoever, whatever, So,
I love that. Yeah. I love the way your mind works. I love the way that your mind flows, because I think that's going to take you it's going to sit you on stages that I don't think you know yet. I think you've got a beautiful mind. I think you know that too, but yeah.
I don't know. Oh, appreciate this. I don't know. I think I've got a bit of an out of it mind, but yeah, but I think when I look back at all the people who are put on, I guess, pedestals as great minds of their time, a lot of the times when they were around, they were looked at as weirdos. Even if you go back to the Renaissance era, if you look at Michelangelo's, the Da Vinci's, who people they're revered today. Even in those times, they were like, bro, those fellas are a bit out of it. You know what I mean? So it's J. Cole has a cool line in A Night Job with Bass, where he says, being an artist, that's the best excuse for being crazy. You know what I mean? I'm probably, we're all crazy out here, really, in our own way. So yeah, life's a journey, and let's go get it. I'm just living my purpose like you are, sis. Trying to, and to be honest, I don't even want to be a role model, sis. I just want to be me. I want to be me, and what I want to do is just try and talk to as many cool people as possible. And if somebody resonates with it and they say, fuck, that was cool, man, then like, cool. You know what I mean? But if people see me and they're like, wow, like I feel like I can be a podcaster one day. Like if I can get to become the biggest podcaster, and then other Maoris, other Pacifica people, other people from down under Australia, because if you read my bio, it says Maori blood, but Anzac heart. You know, this country's given me a lot. You know what I mean? And as much as I'm proud to be Maori, you know what I mean? I feel like both countries are home in a lot of ways. So yeah, if people look at us and say, "Oh, I want to crack that," then cool. But like, bro, I'm just me, Shubz. You know, Martel is my real name, but yeah, that's it. I don't know. I hope that helped. Anyway, sister, before we get out of here, can I ask you a couple of questions?
100%.
If you could only have one kai for the rest of your life, what kai is Malaahi Davis? What meal is she gonna eat every day? Every day you're gonna eat this kai.
Okay. I hope you guys call it the same. My mum makes this thing called chicken casserole.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! If I could have that every day.
Yeah.
With mashed potato and garlic cabbage, I would eat that. Normally, like I know, like I would have said like boiler, but actually no, I would love like mashed potatoes, garlic cabbage, and chicken casserole. Like I could eat
your mum's though, but your mum's.
Only my mum's. I've tried to make it. I did not eat it.
Oh, true. Your mum's this.
Just her.
Okay, mum's. Yeah, mum's. I like
or,
it.
Do you know scallop potatoes?
Yeah, of course.
Scallop potatoes. I love her scallop potatoes too.
Oh, you could have that all with your meal, I guess. I guess there could be your whole. Yeah, there you go. Mum's chicken casserole with what? Garlic. What?
Garlic cabbage.
Yeah, garlic cabbage.
Mashed potato.
Scallop potato and mashed potato, or you gonna?
Or just one or the other.
Yeah,
I don't think we should have both potatoes.
Oh, why not? Eh? No. We're gonna look like one. No.
I definitely don't.
No. If you have too many of the same one, you might do. But that's all good. Yeah. Or if you just eat it in moderation, just only have a little bit every day.
Yeah. No, I would do that every day.
But at least you have a whole full head of hair anyway, so saying healthy hair.
That's right.
Superpowers besides the ones you already possess. If you wanted to create one or pick one from the existing superpowers in the realm of superpowers, what would you choose and why?
Superpower.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would I want to do? Maybe fly.
Yeah, fly. That's it.
I want to see the whole world regardless. I'm going to see the whole world regardless, but I would like to probably fly. Or anywhere the ocean is, maybe I would want to, I don't know, probably fly. What's yours?
Fly. Mine teleport, just because it's time efficient. Like I could teleport anywhere.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like teleport. And if I wanted to fly, sort of like I guess you'd be falling, but I could just teleport right up as high as I could and just fall down and look at stuff in a way. Wear one of those wingsuits. I don't know. Yeah. But then also, mine is a little bit mixed because I'd be teleport plus a time machine, like a teleport where I could teleport back in time. Like it's a different periods, and I'll go back and see like how they actually built the pyramids, if Anunnaki are real, and you know what I mean, like where they actually did they really get those from that quarry on like a boat each block, or did some aliens teach them how to do it and we lost the technology? Because I know that the burning of the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, by I think it was Julius Caesar, that they had that burnt because he wanted Rome to be the superpower and no longer Egypt. So, I think a lot of knowledge got lost in the burning of that library. So it'd be like even going back there to maybe read some of the books and see what was.
Where did you learn all of this?
I don't know. See, I'm crazy. I don't know. I'm just a nerd, so I've always been a nerd. I've always I've like you. You know how you said you're that girl that because how you got to where you are in your business, you just ask questions and ask questions. I've been that way all my life, sis. So like if I thought of something or if I've seen something and I'm like, how does that work? I'll go and ask every question I can to whoever I have to figure it out. And then if they don't know, then when I was a kid, obviously we didn't have Google when I'm 32, so they didn't have no Google when I was a little kid. We'd have to go to the library, get an encyclopedia, we'd have to open it up and read the shit. And a lot of that was just, his story, he who wrote it. So, and now there's Google and you can, do a bit more. But yeah, I don't know. If I find something interesting or someone says something, I always go and research it to see if it's true. And then Yeah, I don't know. I think my koro told me when I was young too to if you ever want to learn something about, if you ever enjoy like something, learn the roots of it. So yeah, that's probably it.
Wow,
Yeah, I know.
I love that so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, so yeah, time machine, but I'll go to heaps of different periods. Even go back and see if dinosaurs are actually real, because yeah, I think it's was only like created to prove the Darwinian theory, which is sort of being disproven in a lot of ways. But anyway, whatever. Yeah. So that would be me. So superpower, time machine, sort of teleporting. Got any advice for anybody out there besides all the advice you've already given? For anybody that wants to get into business, doesn't necessarily have to be yours, or just they want to be on a path to financial freedom, what would you say?
I would say to them, there's only two things that can happen. You go in, you work hard, you have the faith, you develop belief, and you just do not stop, and your whole life changes. Or you go in, you do nothing, and your life stays the same. You don't lose nothing. So being ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. And the longer that you stay in, like, with no decision making, you're just stuck. Make a decision, see how much you can roll with it, see how much you can put into it, and just, yeah, you can't lose. You either stay the same, which you're already there, right? Or you change your life. There's no in between. You either change your life or you stay the same. So make the decision, make it quick. Time's not slowing down for no one. Yeah, just get in. Run with it. You have a mind that no one else has. You have a flavor that no one else has. Like, let's build. Let's make some money, and let's change some lives.
Yeah, that's it. Since you've progressed in, what's it been, 6 years since you've arrived in Australia-ish, around 5-6 years, your life's changed a lot from the lady that was $1,000 picking up horse shit in Newcastle to where you are now. Give us visualization. Last question. Visualization. Where does that life look, or what does it look like in 10 years from now, from today?
I think what it looks like in 10 years from now, I'll be doing what I do right now, just on much larger scales. I would have touched multitudes of women. I would have helped many multitudes of women change their lives. I think I love what I do. I know that I'm here to do it for the rest of my life. I just want to do it at a larger scale. I want to do it with grace. I want to do it beautifully. I want to do it like no one else has done it. And yeah, I want to do what I do for the rest of my life. I just want to do it on a scale that right now I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. Well, sis, time's the most valuable commodity we have as human beings. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money, things, but time spent is time lost. So thank you for sharing over an hour of time with myself and anybody that listens to this for years to come. I hope they take as much value as I have, and I hope even your mokopuna back and have a listen to this, and all your son too. Yeah, appreciate you, and keep being a blessing to the world. And I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Thank you so much for your time.
Jesus.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.